Are there already provided properties on Jointly to invest in? Yes. If you log onto the Jointly platform, you'll find properties that you can begin to invest in. When you invest in a co-owned property, is the land included in what you own or just the building? So buildings don't sit on air, right? Buildings are attached to land, right? But the form of ownership could be different. For instance, if you invest in an apartment on Jointly, what it means is that you own the apartment, but the apartment is a part of a building that sits on a parcel of land. So you are not the only one who owns that land, right? Everybody who owns apartments in that building also co-owns that land, right? So co-own, if you own an apartment, that's the structure to owning the land. If it is a fully detached building, say a bungalow or a duplex, the co-owners of that building also own the land because you have bought the building, right? You have bought the building, so you also own the land, right? So buildings don't sit on air, they sit on land. And when you sell a building to someone, you basically sold the land. So if you sell the building to you, the co-owners of that property have also sold the land to you. So yes, you also own the land. How many properties can I invest in on Jointly? As many as possible, right? You can invest in properties in Lagos, Kigali, Nairobi, Zanzibar, US, UK, anywhere. As if you decide to come on Jointly and log in and buy all the properties and buy property shares in all the properties listed at the same time, it's up to you. You can do that. Do you have properties to co-own in other locations except Lagos? It depends on when you are watching this video. But as at 9th October 2023, we only have properties in Lagos, but we are working on properties in other markets, right? Especially in East Africa. But by the time you sign up on Jointly, we most likely would have properties in multiple locations already. But yes, Jointly is going to be dealing with properties in multiple locations: West Africa, East Africa, South Africa, Europe, America, everywhere. Does Jointly have a team of construction professionals who carry out development of the property or the source for the properties? So Jointly is not a construction company or a development company. But Jointly partners with development companies, real estate developers, right? And companies that have properties for sale. So before we partner with them, we ensure that there's a team of professionals or there's a plan to professionally develop a property, or we see that the property meets our requirements for both quality and financial requirements. I'm talking about rental income, and it's in a location where the property would appreciate, right, before we invest in those properties. So Jointly is not a construction company, but we partner with credible developers. Who owns all the buildings we are investing in? You, the co-owners. So if you buy a property, right, if you co-own a property, and let's say at the end of the day 400 persons co-own this property, it means that 400 persons own that property. If rent is paid on that property, the rent is paid to those same persons. If the property appreciates and we decide to sell the property, when we sell, it will be the profits or the return from the sales will be shared to those same persons, right? So yes, you own the property. You, the owners, own the property. Jointly is just a trustee. Jointly just manages that property on behalf of the owners. When there is a decision to sell an asset, whose decision will it be? Now, let me answer this question in two ways. Number one, when you buy property shares and you want to sell your property shares, when we create that secondary market where you can sell the property shares, it is solely your decision to sell your property shares. That's your decision. When you sell it, you liquidate and you exit that property, right? But in a case whereby our real estate analysts decide, to sell a property for whatever reason, probably because, something's happening in the market, or they foresee that something would happen, or whatever reason, right? After we get that reason, we will communicate this decision with the co-owners of that property. The co-owners then decide, if they want us to sell or not by taking a vote, right? If we get a majority, vote, if majority say, let's sell the property, then we put the property on the market, sell it, liquidate it, and share the returns from the sale with the co-owners of that property. So the decision at the end of the day is in your hands. We just manage the entire process of making that decision. Who manages the properties? Jointly manages the properties. So Jointly sets up a property management team in whatever locations, either in-house or by partnership, and we monitor the management of these properties using technology to ensure that the property is well managed and we collect the right rental income from those properties.